I want to move on to our next bold ambition and customer example. Sometimes when we talk about reinventing business processes, it's more than a front-end process. It's more than just selling Office 365 and CRM Online. It's actually about deeper understanding of a customer's business process, understanding how they grow revenue, understanding how they save costs, understanding how they become more efficient, taking and mapping those processes to the cloud. And this is where our ambition of building the intelligent cloud platform comes to life. The key word that I want to make sure that you all land on this ambition is the word intelligence. Because a system is only as intelligent as the data over which it reasons. And this is what makes our cloud platform truly differentiated. The security, the hybrid capabilities, but most importantly, the rich data assets that are brought to bear by the Microsoft Cloud for Business. This intelligent cloud platform that we will all build together as an ecosystem is truly differentiated in the marketplace because of that. Not just our heritage and roots in SQL, but also all of the third-party databases, NoSQL environments, big data, data lakes, machine learning, predictive analytics, all of those capabilities that we can bring to bear and bring awesome business value propositions to life. So our next story speaks exactly to that. And I bet none of you have ever correlated laundry with the Internet of Things. But in just a moment, I think you'll get the quick correlation. Our next customer is Wash Laundry, and they have 70,000 locations across North America and growing. They lease washers and dryers to apartment buildings and universities. And their partners, SADA Systems and ProSum, two partners working together at Wash, have played a huge role in transforming how Wash gets the job done. So, to help me talk through this, I want to bring to the stage the Chief Information Officer of Wash, John Bucola, the CEO and President of SADA, Tony Safoyan, and Mark Mariyama, the Director of Solution Sales at ProSum. Hey, guys.
See you, Judson. Thanks for having us.
Come on up. Woo! Cool. I bet you've never seen a keynote with a washing machine on it before here. And I got a little bit of laundry, and this is impressive here. Keep calm and use MoCloud. That's what we want. MoCloud sold by all of you and deployed.
Wow.
So, John, tell us about your business, man.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't get a lot of opportunities to say this, but thank you, Judson, for your business. Well, we've transformed Judson over the past 2.5 years from being a traditional legacy laundry business to becoming a technology and services provider that offers a family of different products, including laundry. And it's technology in the cloud that really got us there.
Fantastic.
So we've executed over 13 acquisitions in the last 5 years. We've more than doubled in size, and we fully integrate every one of our acquisitions. But we're growing beyond just acquisitions into offering other products and services. So with hundreds of thousands of machines like this one, with tens of thousands of customers, and with 930 employees, we've got a mountain of data that needs to be managed, and it needs to be managed intelligently.
Awesome.
We also have a management team that just needs to stay in touch with the business, and we want to keep that family feel even though we're a privately owned business.
That's cool. So I really look forward to showing you guys how they've taken high-tech into a low-tech world and really build an impressive business. So Mark, why don't we start with you, and let's talk about the front-end collaboration piece. What did you do to bring Office 365 to life at Wash?
Yeah, well, as John mentioned, part of their core business strategy really is growth through acquisition. So one of the main reasons we were looking at the Office 365 Intelligent Cloud Platform was to build out a future state where the cost and the work effort of integrating and absorbing these new companies could be greatly reduced, and we could deliver a great user experience for the onboarded employees. So as a result of those acquisitions, we were looking at a fairly complex environment for the migration. Multiple domains, multiple forests, et cetera, a lot of different systems. In fact, my technical team tells us that we were the first partner to do a dual forest migration with linked mailboxes. No one except Microsoft Services had done it before, but with a great team from John's organization, the ProSum team, and a lot of help from Microsoft, we successfully migrated them to the cloud. We moved Exchange, we turned on Yammer and Link for collaboration. We provisioned the original initial SharePoint Online environment, and basically kind of brought them to the cloud, laid the foundation for the great work that Tony was doing.
Awesome. Well, so Tony, why don't you build from there? Talk to us about the solution that you've built.
So after Prosim completed the steel plumbing, we went on to build a fabulous hot tub.
If you don't get the joke, we'll tell you later. Last year's keynote.
So that really means to us full migration to SharePoint Online with our complex security infrastructure, which led directly to the implementation of Power BI to really help them start making sense of the immense amounts of data that 400,000 internet-connected machines, over 70,000 locations and dozens of markets produce every single day. Furthermore, now we're helping them really make sense of that data to help them make insightful business decisions about not only how to maintain and operate these facilities and machines, but how to make future business investments as well.
Awesome. Well, let's go see it. What can you show us?
Live demo time. So what you see here is the Power BI application, of course. You've seen it a couple of times this week already. I'm just going to shortcut over here to the service calls gadget.
So they do 290,000 service calls, John.
That's right. There's actually since a little more since than this, but this represents the data across almost 300,000 service calls. What's interesting is, of course, wash being the size that they are, of a buyer of washers and dryers, they source from 4 different machines. And one of the aspects of running their business is the service cost of the maintenance related to those machines, right? So the number one manufacturer for them, which is this slice, you could see as they're making future investment decisions for this particular equipment type, the part that's more up to fail is the coin drop mechanism in this particular machine. So they can take this data, work with their manufacturer to help improve this mechanism, and also make different decisions maybe about the life cycle replacement of those machines and what kind of machines they end up buying in new locations.
So John, what would you do with this data from a business perspective?
Well, data focuses us. It focuses our business. We maintain a 95% first-time fix rate. We have an internal SLA of an 11-hour average response time. That means I'm going to give same-day or next-day service when there's a service call, and that's despite having a fairly tight workforce. So what this data is going to do is help drive decisions around manufacturer selection. It's also going to help a service manager potentially order additional parts for a given problem type if there starts to be a spike in that type of part, and source parts differently.
Awesome. So Tony, show us the next dashboard.
All right, this next dashboard is really interesting because it really bridges the gap between high-tech and low-tech in interesting ways. So this is revenue versus service call. Here's the map of the United States with different locations. What I want to focus on here is card versus coin, right? We all work in the world where we think more technology is always better, and you'll see that that's not always the case. So I'm going to zoom in here on the Detroit market. You can see that for the most part, 95% plus of the revenue driven in that market is from coin-operated machines. There's other markets out there, so I'm going to zoom out here, zoom into Los Angeles, which is where we're based. And as you look at Los Angeles data, cards are really catching on. It's about 20% of the revenue is driven by card run machines. Now, that sounds all well and good. And again, we think like more tech is better. But let's just click on Los Angeles here and look at the service costs over time on the coin machines. You can see it's relatively stable. There's one spike here. And using Power BI, we can drill down and find out what caused that spike. And if you look at the service records around the card-operated machines, you can see it's more expensive and it's all over the place. So in this world, like in a lot of businesses, more tech is not always better.
Interesting. So John, what would you extrapolate from this, and what kind of decisions would you make here?
Our technology platform, Judson, is payment system agnostic. We will install the right type of equipment in the right location. And so what this will help us do is articulate that to a potential customer who says, I really want the latest and greatest payment system. No problem, we can install that. Here's what you should expect about the service-related experience on that type of equipment. I can show that to you.
Awesome. Fantastic. So Tony, what else have you built here?
So far we've been looking at essentially Internet of Things data, but of course Power BI can be used to slice and dice all sorts of other data, in this case demographic information. Now, Wash over the years has worked on a somewhat proprietary formula to help determine where their next investment should be, what's a market that's ripe for them to walk into. And there's various factors they use, such as the amount of multi-housing construction units being built, even things like gas prices and income versus population rates, et cetera. And based on that data, I'm happy to report that Miami has become the next area of investment right here in the state of Florida.
Awesome.
They have one location that they've opened so far, and I believe there's more on the way.
Cool. Well, it's a good thing you got this machine over here, Johnny. You can help build out the next franchise.
Are they all see-through? Are they all see-through like that?
Only when there's a WPC.
Cool. So John, what kind of results are you seeing from having this data at your fingertips?
I shared earlier we have best-in-class service, we have best-in-class margins, we have best-in-class first-time fix rates. We're also seeing a faster time to integrate our acquisitions. Our last acquisition was in the Pacific Northwest. We tucked that business in 68 days. So we're seeing that cut in half. We saw an ROI, a return on Office 365, very, very quick. It was sub 12 months.
Yep.
So we're seeing just a deployment of technology that very quickly is going to take us from having a lot of these workloads processed on-prem to in the cloud, and we can more focus on the dimensionality and the business problems rather than the provisioning of technology as we scale.
Yeah, like super impressive and inspiring. I think everybody would agree. So Mark and Tony, let's pivot this over to you guys a bit. We'll start with you, Mark. Yep. How does work like this change your business?
Yeah, I think working with John and this project really opened our eyes up to the breadth of the Microsoft solutions, and that really led to the breadth of business opportunity. Besides Office 365, we did a Hyper-V pilots failing over to Azure. We did Store Simple. We did Service System Center, Service Manager, all kinds of different technology. I think I counted 10 to 15 of them. I probably missed a couple here. But the point is the ability to integrate all those different Microsoft solutions within a single enterprise like that, tie them all together was great business opportunity for us, but I think it drove great business value for you as well. Wouldn't you say, John?
Definitely. We are focused on providing additional products and services, and so we don't think about the integration between our technology platform as we kind of used to. We have a unified suite under Microsoft that is moving to the cloud. So as Microsoft invests in the cloud, we invest with our partners in moving those workloads to the cloud.
Awesome. And Tony, how about for SADA?
We realized over the last couple of years that the migration to the cloud itself is an important journey, but it's certainly not the destination point in itself. And we can extract a lot of business value post-migration by enabling tools and capabilities that are frankly inaccessible just a couple of years ago. Yep. Power BI was this thing that not everybody could access because it was just too expensive or too difficult to do. But the post-migration world with Office 365 and Microsoft now enables almost anyone to be able to do this, and those are the skills that we need to develop to bring to market with Microsoft.
So one of the other things we've talked a lot about here at WPC has been enablement. And the work that you guys are doing here is truly cutting edge work. Can you talk a little bit about what it's been like to pivot the resources inside of your company so that you can do work like this?
Yeah, Judson, it comes back again to breadth, I think. When we hire consultants and architects, we're looking for individuals that have expertise in multiple workloads and have a desire to learn on an ongoing basis and improve their skills over time. But then across the whole team, we're also looking for breadth so that we can represent as much of the Microsoft stack as possible and as much business value as possible along the way. So that being said, really the core here is being a Microsoft partner. We have access to training, enablement, and the local Microsoft partner team does a great job and valuable job really of guiding us to where our skills should be in the future as we move to this sort of mobile-first, cloud-first world.
Awesome. How about you, Tony? How do you find the skill sets required to do all of this analytic work?
It's a brave new world. This is not the type of work that SIs were doing even several months ago, in our opinion. And it does require a lot of training from within. We think we have some team members that can learn to do some of these new workloads, but we're also really hiring the type of people we've never had before. Business analysts, UI, UX experts, even data scientists, right? That's not what you think of when you think of SI, but that's really the opportunity of addressing a brand new market after cloud that unlocks real business value.
Awesome. So John, we got a washing machine, and it kind of begs the pun, machine learning. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're thinking about using machine learning at Wash?
Absolutely. Well, Judson, our journey to the cloud really has been an iterative one. It's been what we call at Wash a crawl, walk, run. I'm sure some of the partners here use that as well. We started, with the basics, and we very quickly got into running. So machine learning for us helps us consume the millions and millions of rows of data that our machines and our systems generate at a transactional level.
That's awesome.
And so we're really excited about taking that data and letting Microsoft's cloud, the intelligent cloud, guide us and focus us. So what I'm showing here is this is an experiment. So the old way that we would perform an experiment, if somebody in the business had a thesis, we've got over 1,200 dimensions of data. Mm-hmm. So to take those 1,200 dimensions of data and say, well, what drives pricing? at our tens of thousands of locations, 70,000 locations, what should the price of laundry be? Somebody will raise their hand and think of an idea and say, I think it's this. I think it's the manufacturer of the machine. I think it's the payment system. And the old way was we would do some basic reporting. And by the time you got to some semblance of an answer, the data had already changed. And now with machine learning, what we're able to do is take that data and very quickly cut to an answer and to iterate. So we work with the data scientist. We come up with a thesis on the business side. The data scientist then takes that thesis, creates a script around it. We take our data and we crunch it through. So what we're going to look at right here is actually some information about our business. This is a thesis on pricing, as it turns out. And what this is going to tell us is essentially what happens to usage when you raise your price. Would you do your laundry if it were $2? How about $2.25? How about $2.35? How about $2.80?
Only if I get to watch it through the plexiglass.
Right.
We can charge extra for that.
So it's quantifying, it's quantifying the usage based on the price. And so what we found is, now we can actually quantify it and show, okay, our usage actually goes up as our price goes down, but then it sort of finds its happy medium. And so what machine learning can do is solve to that, determine what dimensions are valuable for us, and then we can shim this, right-click, promote to a web service, shim this in our transactional application, both on-prem and in the cloud. So this is taking our data, having smart transactions, but then taking that data, aggregating it, performing calculations on it, and then bringing it back into the application so that you create a virtuous circle, a transaction circle within your application. That's what we're doing with machine learning.
That's awesome. How about that, huh? Pretty awesome.
Good job, man.
So again, thank you guys. I can't thank you enough for showing this solution. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, John. Fantastic. Really nicely done.
Thanks, everybody.
So I've had a lot of one-on-ones and roundtables throughout the event already. And one thing that I've said to just about everybody there is that there is a data science opportunity in every single customer that we have. And if that's not proof positive, if you can build a data science opportunity out of laundry and reinvent how to create a profitable laundry business, there's a data science opportunity out there in every single customer that we have. We've got to tease that out and tease out how to use the intelligent cloud to build real incremental business value for our customers. And we've got a ton of resources out there to help you do it. We're going to talk more about some tools that we're giving out to you this fiscal year to help drive that opportunity. Again, the other thing you have to do is you've got to be willing to hire the best-in-class resources to go after this body of work too. This is not going to be done, frankly, with yesterday's talent and yesterday's mentalities and selling motions. We've got to operate at a higher level in this partner ecosystem. And the good news is we have a ton of investment that we're making in Microsoft and this ecosystem moving forward.